I'll be as kind as possible.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so day one of MediaTek Summit 2023. Hi, everyone watching. My name is Ben from Lover of Tech. Of course, we are in Los Angeles, Laguna Beach for the first time, and I have two very important people from MediaTek here. I'll pass you over to introduce yourself to everyone, just so they can be acquainted before we get into any questions, to get to know you, get to know us, get to know the audience and what MediaTek is about.
Okay, yeah. Introduce myself. I'm JC Su. Actually, right now in charge of the wireless communication business group, which includes the mobile phone and all the 5G related, like CPE, LED telematics for connected car, and for the always connected PC, those kind of a product line.
Hi, my name is Yan Shi Li. I'm also in charge of smartphone business unit right now. So in the planning and also doing the business on the all the smartphone SoCs from flagship all the way to the entry.
Nice. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and your relations to MediaTek. And it's been great. How are you both feeling being here for 2023, closing things off, moving into the next year?
Yeah, I have to say 2023 is really a very challenging year for us. All the industries are suffering lots of kind of not very good businesses in reality. But we look forward. This is already hit the bottom, and in the rest of the quarter we see some very strong recovery on the demands.
Yeah.
So look forward to the business getting better in the coming year. That's a great thing to look at, a more positive future, right?
That's good. One thing that's actually really refreshing to hear is how much ownership you're taking of things not necessarily being as good as they should be, right? It's almost like wearing your heart on the sleeve. That's a very refreshing take for MediaTek, and just as a brand in general. I feel like most brands try and hide away from that, as if it's not part of the journey. And I personally really like how honest and down to earth you are as a business in kind of just taking ownership of that, because I feel like you're seeing it as it's a time to learn. Mm-hmm. One of the things I really wanted to get to is that with that in consideration, what is the future of computing for MediaTek going into 2024, into the mid-decade, 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, let me start with our mobile first, because we see some introduction today for our 9300s per phone. We see the big change that required demanding applications that need the change of the computing capability architectures. So we do we call the OP-core architecture that bring excellent performance with very low power as well. And this is starting with our journey in the mobile peripheral, we see that this will be more applicable for other industrial players as well. We set an arrow for the all big cores architecture down the road. And in general, MediaTek, I see the computing technology will be deployed into different kind of application as well, in automotive as well. Yeah, you see a lot of computing. It's either for AI or for other different kind of application. We see the computing become more and more important in different kind of verticals, in mobile, auto, and in the smart home, all the way. Yeah,
that's really good. I think with auto, I'm a big petrol head. I mean, I think that's the wrong term to use now because so much of electrification is happening. But auto is something that I'm such a big fan of, right? My biggest dream as a kid was actually being part of the Formula One pit team for McLaren. Yeah, just because I liked the pressure of 3 seconds can make or break a team, I really found it fascinating. And I think a lot of what you're saying in terms of the future of computing, things being autonomous, automation seems to be such a big focus now. So it's really good to hear that, that's at the forefront of what you and MediaTek really think of, and I'm really looking forward to that. Moving on to the next thing, Dimensity 9300. I'm a big fan of system on a chips. I love the whole semiconductor architecture and industry. Is something that just fascinates me and keeps my mind ticking. Sometimes the intricate details get overlooked because people are not too invested in it, but I love it. So one of the main things I really look at is chip formation, right? So chip formation is almost like a game of football or soccer, as other people call it. It's like you have a manager that decides, hey, we are going to play 4-4-2 formation, 4-3-1, 4-4-3 diamond, you know. This time round, you're taking a very interesting approach, which I must say, right? It's big, as I like to call it. It's big.
Simple.
It's simpler, it's more straightforward, but who decided and what was the consensus behind going against the grain, you know, doing that, going for a different formation? Because it surprised me in a very good way. But I kind of wanted to hear, just like how a manager will pick a team for a Champions League final, what was the idea behind that?
Well, definitely is with inside MediaTek, we argue that quite a lot. Right?
I can imagine.
For architecture planning.
It's so different. It's so different.
Because there are definitely different opinions. People say, you know, at that time, back to 2 years ago, right? I'd say, you know, say why we just give up the small code. They are so, you know, they can do small thing good, right?
Yeah.
Then I think for several rounds of system simulation, we need to do overall system behavior simulations so that we can understand what will happen when we change the architecture itself. So that's the start with all the technology explorations. And of course, there will be some uncertainty things that we probably cannot 100% ensure. Yeah. But based on some, you know, I think the fundamental logic will be, you know, if the big core can do good performance and efficiencies well, the only thing is how can we extend in two ways, right? One is the higher clock rate, the frequency rate. The other thing is how low it can be. Can be as low as a small code can operate. Yeah. So that we figure out some way that we can extend that end. And also we figure out there is some system governing or control methodology that we can apply to use you know, powerful code, big code, to do small thing, even more efficient. Yeah. So this is a final decision that the group of the architecture teams that get a consensus with. Yeah.
I would like to have lunch with them and pick their brain, because I feel like that my taking from it is there's a real understanding and optimization and really putting work into performance profiling, right? That's just something that I think, listen, I sit there all day, I'm fascinated about that so much, you know, and I'm eager to just see it at work, right? We've seen, you know, one of the Vivo products, X1000, I believe that's been announced on it.
100.
Yeah, X100, apologies, yes. I just want to see it at work. I love seeing, you know, big changes, but in a simplified execution manner. It's a big change, but it's so simple to understand, you know, so big kudos, big credit to that. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that, you know, pay dividends. Moving over to the next part, we know that for any business to be sustainable is all about profit, right? Mm-hmm. We get it. That's usually the most easiest indication of success, right? With profits, we know how to reinvest into R&D, get the right people to work for us, take us to the next level. But what I wanted to go against and say is that beyond those important yet vanity metrics, right? What does actual success look like for MediaTek? You know, what if you're talking about generational success, leaving a legacy? What is success for MediaTek? What's the main objective?
Well, I think as a company, of course, financial return is, as you said, is the fundamental thing we have to do. Well, the other thing is, this is also our mission in our companies when it's built up. That is, we have to bring everyone can enjoy the most advanced technology and make it affordable. And we bring some really positive impact to people's living, work, and everything surrounding them. That's our mission and vision we really want to bring. And now it's probably the time that we can really contribute. Generative AI, all kind of a very important technology we can embed it into our flagship smartphone. That's great. Things.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really glad you've said that. As in, some parts of the world, you can realize that tech is not as accessible as you think, right? And I see a lot of what MediaTek is doing in terms of the heartbeat of these products being equally as good as what you would expect them to be, but not break the bank, right? Without sacrificing that instant quality, that long-term quality. And, I think it makes sense. And I'm really glad that you've resonated that. And I hope that pays off beyond obviously it, being profitable. But that leads me on to, the last part of this sequence of questions. To achieve that, what do you think is the biggest challenge MediaTek is going to face in the next half decade, right? Because the next decade will usher in the ending of 2020 into 2030 as a new decade. What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge in it all?
Okay, yeah. Well, from the technology point of view, actually MediaTek have a very deep development and so far achievement in three actually domains is communication and multimedia and computing. Well, for each of the domain, we do see some challenge ahead of us. For example, like communication, we do see that right now already in 5G for 5 years commercialized. But moving forward, we do see, the 5G have to be expanded into a wider variety of applications. So far, there is a not so well-defined solution yet. Maybe tomorrow you will see RedCap is the one thing that we can bring to the lightweight devices like Internet of Things applications.
Yeah, of course, IoT.
But I do see that, from silicon complexity, power consumption, and all the required for performance, we need to find a kind of a balance, from product definition wise and technology wise. And moving forward, there will be, kind of advanced communication will be embedded, kind of migration to 6G. It's probably a long time later, and after 2030, I think. But before that, there will be 5G advanced, 5G plus, and a lot of new communication technologies going to be developed. For example, like a non-terrestrial network, satellite communication.
Yes, absolutely.
So a lot of
Especially for
technology,
emergency services.
in the communication domain, is still a lot of challenges for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And talking about the computing, definitely is a huge challenge ahead of us. It's not only a mobile phone, but a lot of our addressed application like automotive, like in general computing, smart home. They need a different kind of computing, especially like a car. Probably from the smart copy Rick just mentioned today to probably part of the ADAS, we need to address so that you need a huge, tremendous capability that can address those kind of application in car wellly. So this is a big challenge. And with embedded AI, generative AI, I do believe that the computing capability have to be way better, made far better than today's definition. Yeah. And multimedia as well. Camera right now is you just mentioned about the 4K 60. There will be maybe 8K.
AKA, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Very.
And a lot of the camera features, like maybe you can see the demo phone. Now people say, oh, we can have a very good camera shots in a nice scenery, but but you can shoot the sun, right? You can get the picture of the sun, and the very extreme cases that even human being cannot see, but you can take the picture very good quality. And not only picture quality, but also video. How do you make the video even more professional?
Absolutely.
Just like a
An
movie
actual
maker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do see a lot of a challenge in technology, in computing, in multimedia, in communication domains. That's from technology point of view, and also from the other business point of view. A lot of uncertainty ahead of us, especially in the past 10 years. I didn't aware that the political constraints.
Yeah.
There are some region by regions constraints. China, U.S. Now, Taiwan is a special place that's just in front of the kind of a conflict, and a lot of a new area that we see the region that they really have a very high potential, like India and some other emerging countries. So we do see that a lot of challenges in the business and the political constraints that we may meet in the future. But also imply that there will be a lot of opportunities because of these challenges.
That's what we'd love to hear.
So that's in general my comments here. Yeah.
Honestly, that is as detailed of an answer that I could have gotten. And I think my summary of it really is, if we take computing, for example, increasing complexity while still making it accessible and efficient, right? Because like you said, it has to be better. It has to be better, and for it to be better, you have to have a level of complexity, capacity to be able to contain while still hitting the efficiency of hitting enough a profile of
Extremely low
smaller.
power.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can always force more power, but then your performance profile efficiency goes down while your complexity goes up. It's that seesaw effect and balancing. So as an example, honestly, thank you so much for such a detailed answer. But all the seriousness out of the way, I've got some fun fire questions for you. Because interviews gets too serious. And I think we're all human beings. We need to know fun things about each other. So I've got some fun fire questions for you. So I can get to know you more. You can probably have some memories of yourself. And also my audience can see how human we all are. Okay, first one, your favorite childhood memory. I'll go with mine first. Mine was playing football in the street. When your friend said car, then you have to move out the way. Then you're fighting with whether someone scored or it was a foul while the car was coming. That was one of my favorite childhood memories.
My favorite childhood memory was I'm trying to steal some kind of potato and get caught by my father. The first time I feel so ashamed. I should not be caught, right?
First thing not to be caught, but once that sees you, then it's a problem.
You want to share?
My favorite childhood memory is just playing baseball with my classmates.
Nice.
Yeah, in elementary school. So we have to find. It's not easy to find a baseball field.
Yeah.
In Taiwan at the time. So we had to find some areas where we can play.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just too many people around.
Around,
so we
yeah.
have to, no hit and run and within such kind of restricted areas.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of fun that people are maybe not really happy to see what we're doing on the because the ball is gonna fly around.
Yeah, you could hear someone.
So yeah, that's the memory that I memorized the most.
No, I love that. That's good. That's really, really good. Okay, so as a child, what was your dream thing when growing up? And is it something you're doing now? Have you experienced it? What was your dream as a child? Like for me, I said it, I loved the sound of F1 cars. But actually, it wasn't to be an F1 driver. It just fascinated me how quickly these guys could change tires, put a wing on, and win a race, or take an extra 2 seconds and lose a race. Right? I love that pressure. I really wanted to be part of a pit team as a kid growing up. Yeah.
My case, what I want to be, when I was a child, at that time, I'm kind of old. At that time, the first time.
You're forever young.
No. The year I born actually is Apollo 11.
Okay.
In the moon.
Yeah.
When I was a child, these are kind of fantastic thing for every children.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
want to be a spaceman.
Wow.
Sometimes I can travel to moon or even Mars.
Yeah. Wow.
But unfortunately, I couldn't make it.
But I mean, to grow up to watch that and live that experience in that moment, that's a priceless memory to have.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But maybe a satellite communication kind of fulfill a little bit my dream.
Yeah, of course. I love that.
How about you?
Well, I really don't have that much of thinking about what will I become in the future. But I just remember that when I was a kid, I used to play assemble the components to become a.
Oh, like Lego pieces, or like
but it's actually more like Japanese style.
The Japanese style, like maybe Gundam or
exactly.
those
so
figures.
All
Okay.
these, things so I was playing it a lot. Assemble a lot of like
mobile
tank,
suits.
Tank or the boat and all that. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like building to my mind that I want to be more about that kind of mechanical engineering.
Yeah. Wow.
Doing
Wow.
That.
Okay.
But this is too different.
Yeah.
Doing that doesn't mean that it can become. So
you dream.
I don't know. Yeah.
You dream
So
as a kid.
I just remember all that, but now I don't have all those anymore.
Because
I was surrounded by my mother.
Yeah.
But I moved to different places. So anyway, this is a good memory of that.
No, that's good. I love that. I wanted to really take it back. I would say what would be one favorite piece of tech you saw in one of your favorite TV shows or movies that you wish was real? I'll go with mine. If you've ever watched Dragon Ball Z, right, there is the tech company in there called Capsule Corp. And what they used to do, they had a technology where if you press the button, it would shrink a whole ship into one little capsule. Now, as someone that travels a lot, I hate weight luggage. I wish I could press a button and just miniaturize everything I had into just little medicine capsules so that once I'm ready, I can just throw it. And people that watch Dragon Ball Z, you know exactly what I mean by that, right? So that's a piece of tech I just wish was real. You know, being able to miniaturize something, put it in your pocket, bring it and just make it pop and make it the same size again. So I'm thinking, was there something as a kid you saw in your favorite TV show or movie as a piece of technology that you wish was real right now?
Well, in my case, I read a lot of comic books when I was a child.
Nice.
You know, Doraemon is a very
Yeah. The same thing, right?
I really admire two things. One is his pocket. Everything you can just draw,
Yep.
everything you want.
Yep.
Like after invention.
Yep.
The other very important invention is he has a door that you can go anywhere you want. Whenever you think you want to go, then just open the door.
Yep.
It'll be there.
Yep. We need that, honestly. Sometimes those travel flights being 12 hours, we need an instant way to get from A to B. No, I love that. I love that.
How about you?
Yeah, same thing. Actually, the time machine is something that very interesting, right? The time machine that the Back to the Future, right?
Yeah,
so the time machine that I think this if we could have that, they will be able to see what happened in the past, learn about the history and all that. That's something that I really want to
actual full context of the past.
Yeah, not to influence the what happened,
but to be able to see it in real time.
Yeah, exactly what happened.
You are a man of restraints. I like this because I always say anything to do with a time-related power feels too dangerous. The only thing I would ever want to do with time is be able to pause it. Right? Sometimes I don't know if anyone's had this, like last minute exams, you ain't studied enough.
Oh, yeah. Give me one more.
Give me like one more day to go in a minute. That's the only thing I'd want to do. But I love that. Being able to see the past in real time, but not influence it. Okay, I've got another interesting one, two more. What are some weird and strange things people do or don't do that makes you not trust them? I've got a funny one, right? People that eat pizza and don't finish the crust with it. When I see people do that, I don't trust them. I find that very suspicious. Like, just eat the whole pizza. Do not leave the crust. So that's one thing. If I see you do that, people, I just don't trust you.
What weird behavior? You first.
You haven't thought about it, right? Man, people that don't eat the crust on their pizza, I do not trust them. I've put you on the spot.
Any reason for that?
Because it's the whole pizza. Finish it. The crust tastes nice. Like, why are you leaving a crust behind? It almost feels like leaving a crime scene and evidence of the wrong that you did. Right? Clean the plate. Oh, honestly, it's just like, and I'm the one where if I see it, I'm finishing it. I'm like, we cannot leave any pizza behind, including the crust. Crust life matters. It's a strange question, I know. We'll put a pause in it. You think about it. Maybe you tell me the next day. You sleep over it. Let me know. But I would say one food that if you had no choice to pick to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
The only thing you can eat.
Only thing. That's like breakfast, dinner, snack, lunch. One food for the rest of your life to be a happy person. Yep.
Wow, I would see probably chicken noodle soup.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Healthy as well.
Yeah,
healthy, good balance. Yeah.
For me, it's corn soup.
Okay. For me, it's a traditional dish for me. Jollof rice from Ghana, West Africa. Yes, Ghanaians make the best jollof rice, so hate me all you want. But honestly, that is it. I just wanted to make it a fun close off for this interview. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for having me. Thanks for all that MediaTek is doing. This is a wrap up of day one of MediaTek Summit 2023 here at Laguna Beach. We will catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.